Alright, what's going on, y'all? This is Best Blurred, and I'm going to do a reaction video to the Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness trailer that just dropped last night. I'm going to be honest with you guys, this is not my first watch through it. I watched it a couple times, and then I watched a couple of the reaction videos from other YouTubers, and I think that people are missing some important details. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to watch this. I'm going to give you my ideas on it, and I'm going to tell you why I think that what I think is going to happen, etc., so on and so forth.
Every night, I dream the same dream. And then... the nightmare begins.
Okay, a bunch of stuff just happened, okay? So every night I dream the same dream, and then I wake up, right? He's getting nightmares every day. What does that remind you of? Doctor Strange 1, when he had to make the deal with Dormammu and live infinite lives and die infinite deaths in order to get Dormammu to stay the fuck out of his dimension. So that's not a random thing that they're throwing in there. It's not about the Multiverse of Madness. It's about Doctor Strange's consequences to the magic that he is doing in order to save people. It's something that Wanda brings up later in the trailer as well. Like, you're doing these things and you're a hero. I'm doing these things and I'm the bad guy. It's the consequences of your actions, and how Strange never really has to deal with the consequences of his actions. Now I'm going to bury the lead immediately in this video and tell you exactly what I think from the get-go, because I think every second of the trailer plays back into this theory. My theory is that the story that we're adapting is called Last Days of Magic. What is Last Days of Magic? Last Days of Magic is a story that I did not read. So first of all, shout out to Tiffany from Comic Pop, because anything that I have ever learned about Doctor Strange has come straight from her mouth. So The Last Days of Magic is the story about Doctor Strange, obviously, and about the magistrate. The magistrate is an empire that does not believe in magic, that goes across dimensions and takes over that universe and destroys all the magic in that universe by destroying the ancient beings, by destroying the magical relics, by destroying the magical, the Sorcerer Supreme, etc., right? And so that's what I think that we're looking at here. Another thing that's introduced in the story of The Last Days of Magic is the one in the basement. And I think that's what we're looking at the, what is that, the 10-second mark? The big thing with the wrapped up face that's yelling at Steven. So here's another thing. As we know from WandaVision, this is canon within the MCU, magic has a cost. Wanda's the only person who can do magic without any sort of cost. So how is it that Steven's able to rewrite reality, to put infinite loops on reality, to do all these crazy things, and yet he never seems to have to pay any consequence? What Stephen Strange has been doing has been, he created a sentient being, he trapped it in his basement, and every time he does magic, that being takes the negative consequences of Stephen Strange's actions, right? So if the consequence of rewriting history so that everyone forgets about Spider-Man is mental anguish, the being in the basement gets that anguish. Steven doesn't get that anguish, so that he's able to still continue going on and being the Sorcerer Supreme. In his mind, he's doing what needs to be done in order to save reality, in order to keep people safe, because if he was, you know, limping through things, he wouldn't be a very good Sorcerer Supreme, right? He wouldn't be protecting the people. So that's what I think that is. I've seen a lot of theories about whether that's another form of Dormammu, about whether that's, you know, whatever that is.
What I had to do to protect our world.
You cannot control everything, Strange. You opened the doorway between universes, and we don't know who or what will walk through it.
I don't think he's going to be the big bad. I do think the magistrate is going to be the big bad, because it represents a more direct antithesis to Doctor Strange. So Sue McGrath is just a demon and a being that exists beyond dimensions, and he just comes in and he mind controls the whole universe. He has them worship him, and then that gives him more power to go to more dimensions, to enslave more universes, to get more powerful, to do it over again. So he's a mini-angled one. It doesn't really matter. He's a Lovecraftian whatever. That's not a compelling story, though. The compelling story is the belief that Doctor Strange is wrong.
You break the rules. Look out! You become a hero. I do it. I become the enemy. It doesn't seem fair.
That the things that he does should not be done. That magic is an inherently bad thing, and the magistrate's going to have some very compelling arguments for that. I do also think they're mixing in a little bit of the story of Illuminati into that, because the magistrate is sort of like a council of people who don't like magic. The Illuminati is a council of Earth's mightiest heroes who protect the world. I can see those two intermingling and sort of being the same thing. I think they need to introduce the X-Men and Black Bolt and different things like that in some sort of a way, and I think this is as good as any. Anyway, so Wanda's going to be joining this story, and while she was not originally in the Last Days of Magic storyline, I do think that she makes sense contextually in this story, because the way that the magistrate gets rid of magic is by removing the magical relics, by removing, the magical beings, etc., because Doctor Strange himself doesn't have magic. He calls on the magical energies of other things. He's just the person who knows the most about where to get it and what to do with it, right? But Wanda herself is outside of those rules. She can do whatever she wants with absolutely no magical incantations, or she just can just do stuff, right? And so who better to join Doctor Strange in fighting against the magistrate but Wanda?
Wanda, what do you know about the multiverse?
Viz had his theories. He believed it was dangerous.
He was right.
So here's what I think they're doing. I think America Chavez, which is a superhero that hops between dimensions in order to save it from, dystopian futures, dystopian, situations. I think Wanda, who is not hindered by the lack. So basically, as the magistrate destroys more magical relics, Stephen Strange is going to get more and more nerfed, right? If he can't use the Crimson Bands of Sidorak because the magistrate has destroyed Sidorak, he can't use that anymore, right? If he can't use this, he can't use that, he can't use this, he can't use that. You're starting to nerf Stephen Strange. Now, so again, you have the person who can hop between dimensions, who's really strong, who's seen how this works out, is basically going to tell the backstory of who the magistrate is and what dangers they have. You have Wanda, the person who is not affected by what the magistrate is doing, and you have Stephen Strange, of course, our main character, our narrator, the person who we're following through, but who is, as the movie goes on, going to become more and more and more impotent. Not useless, but helpless, right? There is a scene where Stephen Strange is being hung up by the one in the basement. That also does happen in the story. I'm not gonna spoil what happens, why that happens, and what happens as a result of that. But suffice to say, the robots that we see later on in the trailer are not Ultron. I've seen so many people say that in their reaction trailer, and it's just not true. The magistrate does not believe in magic. They believe in technology as a religion. So you have the something with a U, the main guy at the top, like the emperor, and then you have a bunch of robot sentries, right? So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at the robot sentries carrying Stephen Strange into his sort of court case, where he's going to plead his case into why he needed to distort reality and do all these things that affect the natural order of things. He's not going to have any very good reasons, because, the most recent example is Spider-Man No Way Home, where he distorted all of reality and put all of reality at danger to help a 18-year-old kid get into college, right? That's not really going to play well in court, but I'm sure there's also 1,000 other scenarios that they're going to be able to throw at him.
I'm sorry, Stephen. Your desecration of reality will not go unpunished.
We should tell him the truth.
Mordo's been saying since the end of Doctor Strange 1 that there shouldn't be any more sorcerers. what makes more sense than for the beginning of Doctor Strange 2, for him to show back up and be like, hey, Strange, you know, it's been a long time. We should go hang out over here, and then betray him, sell him out to the council. Turns out Mordo's on the council, along with a couple of people that Strange doesn't know, but we know, right? Like Professor X, like other people from, you know, Fox properties, from comic books, from animated versions of things, right? And that plays into the idea that Strange is going to obviously escape at some point, and somehow maybe there's a relic that they didn't realize that he had, etc., so on and so forth. He gets away. That's when America Chavez comes in.
Things just got out of hand.
And gives him the backstory and what's going on, tells him that she wasn't strong enough to stop them on her own before, and he's about to get nerfed, so that's when they go get Wanda, and then, you know, things will progress from there. Now, and also, just so you guys know, I am working on another theory / reaction video. This one is not for Marvel, it's actually for Euphoria. I heard about a juicy theory, and I really want to tell it to you guys. I really want to show you all the details and how it all stacks up. If I do have time to do that, it will be located here, and then something else will be located here. All right, that's all I got for you guys today. Make sure you like and subscribe. Check out these videos, and I will talk to you guys later.